have just a little bit of anxiety about your kids going through the process of puberty? And how many of you would love to know some simple things you can do that will make that whole part of life go more smoothly? Yay, thanks. I'm Amy Lang, as Kendra said, and welcome to Why Puberty Doesn't Need to Make You Nervous. And thank you so much for coming out tonight and joining us, and thank you so much to the Northwest Girls Coalition for offering this event for us to take part in and for families and of girls in our world. So is it okay if I take a minute to tell you a little bit about myself so you have some more of a context of why you should listen to me? Great, thank you. So when I was in my very early 20s, I volunteered for a crisis pregnancy hotline, and I found myself counseling people who were in the midst of a crisis pregnancy. They had unplanned pregnancies, and I discovered that I loved talking to people about difficult or challenging situations and circumstances. And I totally love that work, and that led me to do more work as the sexual health educator. And I've pretty much talked to anybody you can think of about some part of their sexual lives. So I'm confident and comfortable talking to teenagers and adults. Nothing much fazed me. I loved doing sexual health. And then along the way, I also got a master's degree in applied behavioral science, and most of my colleagues are therapists, and I focused on a different track, and I focused on adult education and group facilitation. So that same year I got my master's degree, I also got one of these and had a baby. And fast forward about 4 years, and my sweet boy was getting ready for a bath, and he grabbed his penis, and he said, "Hey, mama!" And in my head, I said, "No, please don't tell me it feels good to touch your penis." Because I have no idea what to say to you, and I am completely unprepared for this. Please do not tell me it feels good to touch your penis. So that was all my inside voice, my self-talk.
Oh,
thank you. That was all my inside self-talk. I just looked at him and I said, "What?" And he said something completely benign. And I said, "Awesome, bathtub." And I was completely stunned because I had imagined myself to be a complete and total rock star when it came time to talk to my kids about sex. I thought I was going to be super confident and comfortable. I didn't think anything would faze me. I just envisioned these incredible, easy conversations, when in fact, I was completely unprepared. I had no idea what he needed to know. I didn't know when to start talking to him. I didn't know what those conversations should look like. And basically, I freaked out. And what I figured out at that same time was that I needed some help. And then I thought about it, and I figured if I needed help, and I'm super comfortable talking about sex, other parents needed help. So that was the little seed that has turned into Birds+Bees+Kids. And this is totally what I was put on the planet to do. I love talking to parents and working with adults around sexuality and sexual health. So what I'm hoping to offer you today is just some simple tips to help you through, if you're engaged. Who's in puberty at their house? Who has puberty at their house? Anybody? Back of the room. Anybody else? Low puberty going on? Great. So for those of you who don't have puberty yet, this will help you get ready for that. So I'm going to teach you a simple trick to help with adolescent crazies. You'll learn why their behavior can seem so erratic, and then we'll learn a little bit more about how you can help them through this time. So, time for visual aid. What does it say, please?
Puberty equals body.
I'm sorry, what does that say?
Puberty equals body.
Thank you. Puberty is all about the body. So puberty is the period of time when a kid body changes from a kid body and grows into an adult body. It's about sexual development. It's their physiological changes of their body. And of course, they also have some mental and emotional changes that go on as well. That's adolescence. So it's really two things, sort of biology and psychology. And so the number one worry of kids as they're going through puberty is, am I normal? And if you just harken back to your own time of puberty, I think you may be able to relate to that, right? We're all thinking, am I normal, am I normal, am I normal? And your job is to reassure them that yes, most likely, they are normal, and to keep reminding them that puberty happens for everybody at a different scale. So some kids, they're done in a year. Some kids, it takes 6 years. It just really depends on the child. Most of the time, everybody's done, most of the time everybody's done with puberty by 17, 18, 19, just depends on the kid. So, how many of you remember that kid in your class when you were in the 5th grade who was in their full grown-up adult body? It might have been you. It might have been you, yeah. My best friend in 5th grade was Chris Stout. Chris Stout was hips, boobs, period, the whole 9 yards. Amy Lang was not. And I remember worrying about that. And I didn't have anybody to reassure me that that was totally normal. So the process can take a year to 6 years. Everyone matures at their own pace. And our job is to remind our kids that yes, they're normal. That yes, this is typical. If your child has not started puberty by the time they're 15 or so, definitely want to talk to the doctor just to check in. And the normal time, or the typical time that puberty starts is between 18 and 14 in girls and 9 to 14 in boys. So on average, girls start puberty around 10 and boys around 11. 8 to 14 for girls. 8 to 14 for girls. And 9 to 14 for boys. Right, same difference, right? So, does everyone eventually end up in their adult body?
Yes.
Yes, right? Look around the room. We all managed to get into our adult bodies. By hook or by crook? By hook or by crook.